Welcome to another episode. Let the madness begin.
Sunday edition.
The Sunday Holy Edition. Sprinkle a little God in this mix. Woo! Roll it up in the papers of the spirituals, Sunday and then we light it with the Spirit of Jesus.
You do that.
Woo! Boy, and we get high to serve our Lord.
Okay. So what is today's Sunday sermon, sir?
Oh man, I'm just like Kanye. I can make it up.
You can make like he made up that he could run for president and win.
Yeah, man. How you feeling on this beautiful, beautiful day?
It's all right, man. Weather's so for today. Pretty nippy outside. Can't complain too much.
Yeah, a little dreary. I was like, man, one of them days, just want to eat like a box of donuts and just watch TV.
Didn't you do that yesterday?
I did the day before.
Oh, see. Can't do 2 weeks in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
two times in a week.
Yeah, I'm not. I can't do that. Not anymore. Don't have the what is it? The
metabolism?
Yes, I do not have. I definitely don't have that anymore. So I actually like Kanye West.
Oh, okay.
I think he's personally. I think he is a well-established man, and I think that he means well.
Okay.
But he has the poorest execution.
That is true.
And actually it speaks volumes as far as black men. He coveted Kim Kardashian. She walked on water.
Right.
Remember one line I could think of, and I don't think people realize this. He had a line that says, make you look like precious.
Yeah. Okay, I remember that line.
So why all of a sudden now he beefing with his black queen? No. I bring this up because remember now, Kanye West talking about, he calling his, now he wants his black kids. He's using, from my understanding, he uses these words now. But yet, when you was with her, y'all was rocking and y'all was on good terms,
It's just like any other relationship,
I would say that.
But I'm putting in these terms.
Okay.
It's like one of them things. It's like you say, for instance, you had a nice car. Let's say you had a Ferrari. Right? You drive around a Ferrari. You mess around and your Ferrari ends up with somebody else. Like say it got repossessed. The next day, somebody around the corner saw it and bought it for probably half the price of what you were making payments on for.
Okay.
You drive. It's sort of the same thing. It's like, okay, it was the magnificent, most beautiful thing you could drive when it was in your possession. Okay. And all of a sudden, you no longer have the Ferrari. Oh man, the car trash.
Okay, I like that.
You know what I'm saying? In a sense, it's like something you had possession of. And I hate to say that about another human being. Once it's somebody else's possession, somebody trashes. Now it was your treasure. There was somebody else, and now it's trash.
Right.
You understand? I'm getting it instead of the reverse.
But I believe what you're saying is true because we see it.
Right.
But I think it's a little extra when the races are different.
Okay.
Because I think now he's pulling black card. Now he's trying to pull black sympathy.
He can't pull that for me because before that, who was he with? Before that, it was Amber Rose.
And I'm still trying to figure out, and I keep trying to tell people, whatever happened to the girl that was throwing up the dynasty sign?
Oh, the
black girl that was throwing it. Yeah. Whatever happened to her?
Because it's like you say, there's a notorious thing we always do when we get money. We find us the first whoever who we feel is exotic or exotic looking, and we put her on the team.
Okay. I'm not knocking it. I can't.
We make her the soccer mom.
Because I was wondering, because we listened back to some kind. I was like, yo.
Because even before that, even with her, he was dating other famous people because he dated a couple of models.
Yeah.
So eventually it led to that. Eventually, yeah.
Right. And I'm one of these people, and the reason why I bring that up because it's interesting for another person, and then it'll go into another person also. But it's interesting because I understand that when you break up with people, issues, but everything that you knew your wife was about, now you have issues with. You don't want your daughter on TikTok, but your wife lives on internet. You met your wife on the internet. We all met her and Ray J on the internet.
You really got introduced to it.
I mean, but now all of a sudden it's an issue. And it's like, as long as you was part of that culture and was accepted, you had no problems with it. But now that you're not part of the culture or accepted.
But he also used that to his advantage as
True.
well. It propelled him. You think about it, he might be worth a couple $1 million now. He's supposedly worth billions.
Right.
Supposedly. So, but either way, like I said, you used to treasure everything about her, regardless of the garbage she had anyway. Now she's just back to the garbage that, you overlooked, Yeah, her booty was big, but the sex was whack, something like that, I don't know.
No. I mean, I feel you on that.
He probably, and it may not be true. Right. It's like, oh, okay, well, yeah. She, her head game was all right, but her, my stroke game was on point, but she just can't throw it back like I like it. But that's the things we do, even as men, regardless of what race.
You're right. We do.
That's what we do as men, because for one, our ego is
right.
Hurt ego. Yeah. If you think about it, that man, regardless when he was going through his mental whatever, he always had that trophy.
True.
He always had that trophy, Kardashian.
True.
So I mean, now she's somebody else's trophy, and the trophy's not so shiny anymore. Now it's no longer, it's a gold, it's not a brass trophy. It need to be shined up pretty well, but I'm pretty sure she can shine up pretty well, my guy. So he does not care at this point.
Exactly. It's a win regardless. I just find it interesting when I see men mostly do that. Not saying, women don't do it, but if I see a man do that, it's like, come on, bro. I mean, if it's that big of an issue, it was an issue before y'all broke up, but apparently it's an issue now because you're in your feelings. Even though you around here with a model half your age, that's the same color as the wall on the back. I have no issues with that. Trust me. I'm, for one, I can never say I have any issues with that at all, by the way. But I'm just saying he's living his life, but he just now, and you might be right, because she's with somebody else. I believe he's going to drop everything he knows about her now.
Oh,
I think he's going to drag her through the mud.
He'll get out.
But that's still the mother of your child. You felt comfortable enough to drop 4 kids in there. It is 4, right?
But that's something I think it's 4. I think it's something we all do, though. And it's just like, it's sort of like you're trying to blow up that bridge so you no longer have that emotional connection to that person. That person has that, that way to you.
Maybe it's just me, but I actually thought it would have been the opposite. I thought Kim would be doing this. I'm not going to lie to you. I actually thought the Kardashians.
But everything she does is calculated always, though. It's always, believe me, there's always a strategy to what she's doing.
And then again, you might be right. There may be something we're not seeing that he sees while he's flipping out. Like, y'all don't see this.
Because there's certain bunch she's pushing, certain bunch he's pushing.
Right.
Like, okay, in case she does this, Kim, you do that.
Right.
All right, in case this happens, you do that. For instance, he had to sneak. Somebody had to tell him the location of it.
Yeah, I felt that was like,
no, what I'm getting at.
And if I was Travis Scott, how could you be there knowing that the father's not there?
According to what was posted, he was the one that gave him directions to
where. Still, why are you still there? Like, me personally, and that's where I have the issues. That's like, it's something about them. Maybe it's witchcraft.
It could be, man.
And they turn black men crazy. Hey, and I'm not
trying to find out.
I'm not.
Trying to find out, man.
Y'all thought Erykah Badu had people out here. At least
shoot, they might would turn a man to a woman, man. Just hey, man.
That is true. Like them and men.
Shit, man.
There's something wrong with that Armenian water. That's right, people. They're Armenian.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So, and the reason why I say it's going to usher us into this new thing. So, Brian Flores, the coach that's suing the NFL,
right?
I'm guessing
Don't me hanging out with Kanye West.
No, but apparently I'm guess. I don't know for sure. I have to look at it, but I guess it's suggested that he has a white wife.
Okay.
And I think some people who look like us feel like that's not a battle he should fight because he's not with us. And I never understood that.
I don't understand that either. That doesn't make sense.
That's kind of like how they did with Colin Kaepernick. Right. And I feel like it's a trend with black men that I'm gonna say I think it's a trend with black men in the world of sports.
You know what that is? Go ahead, finish what you said.
Well, I was no, it was good. Because with Colin Kaepernick, they did the same thing. Well, your parents are mixed, was and I always said this with Colin Kaepernick. He had the blackest story. He had a black father who abandoned him. Then he had a white mother that abandoned him. So damn, he had the blackest story on earth. Ain't that what the black story starts off with?
Right.
Ain't that how every black movie starts off with? Hey. And Colin Kaepernick actually lived that life. It's amazing to me. So he's blacker than us.
Right.
He just happened to be light.
I can understand that.
So, but they will attack that because they're like, hey, you really not black and everything. So apparently that's the thing now that they're trying to shoot him. Like, well, if he's married to a white woman, is he really black enough? And I'm like, how can a person preference make him black?
But it goes back to what you talked about the last time we recorded, the so-called black card.
Okay.
And the thing about it, and it says, okay, we're looking for certain, you gotta reach certain prerequisites to see. You're black. Okay, you got black parent or black parents. You got one black parent. That's close enough. Okay. Right. Now let me see. You got kids. They're black, but your wife. Your wife. Because you automatically get the black card when you're born.
Okay.
But once you get to
so that's it.
That's how it works. Okay. You get it automatically. I didn't meant to tell you that when we recorded last time.
All right.
You get it automatically when you're born.
Okay, cool.
So but the thing about it is you don't know it gets pulled until you get somewhere where there's a big audience of people looking, and they look into your background. They worry about, kids, what you do for a living, who you hang with, who you married, of course, who you married to, and their background too. So that's where he messed up at. He should have, if he had him now, a white wife and a black girlfriend on the side chick. See, that would have kind of canceled. It would have canceled it out. It would have canceled it out.
Okay.
It would cancel.
So it's the ratio.
Yeah, it's the ratio blackness involved. So because it's got to be at least about 90+%.
Okay.
So you gotta, of your blackness for you to keep the card.
Okay.
So once you fall below that 90%, like you get 89.9%.
Oh, then you fail.
Yeah, your card is taken up.
All right.
But you can get it back, like you said, he got to divorce his wife. Get him a little young black woman, get her pregnant and then go back. Then hey, he decides to go back to his wife. He can go back to his wife. Because why?
Because he got a black baby mama.
Black baby mama. So you go. See, that's how it works.
Damn.
Like that.
Damn, well, I learn something new every day.
Yeah. See, hey man, I thought I schooled you on it, but see, when
I ain't trying to figure that out. I was trying to figure out how to
like I said. Now see, like for instance, say you don't eat like fried chicken no more. So that takes it down a notch. Like me, I don't eat sweet potatoes, so that takes me. I don't like yams. So it's like, see that look on your face. See what I'm saying?
Well, I don't like watermelon, so I guess.
Oh, see, see what I'm saying? See, I don't drink grape soda, so I gotta be careful with that. I gotta be careful. I don't drink grape soda or grape Kool-Aid.
I don't drink Kool-Aid at all.
So I would drink Kool-Aid like 20. Damn, it's a long time to drink Kool-Aid. Man.
I don't even like it when I go to Nigel's. I don't even like drinking Kool-Aid.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the thing. So that's the thing about the black card. You got to be careful with it because it get revoked at any time.
That's what's up.
You got to have a certain amount of white friends. You're allowed to have a certain amount of white friends. So just Okay. So if they find out you've got your ratio, it's got to be like 2.5 to 1. Oh. So every one white friend you have, like 2, almost 3 black friends.
Okay, that makes
minimum.
Sense. Yeah,
that's minimum.
Okay. All right.
So keep that in mind, my son. So, when you move or when you leave, especially when you go where you go to, gotta find you a lot of Africans.
Okay.
You'll be good then. A lot of Africans, black. Yeah, black.
All right,
good. See, when the Africans, it doubles. It doubles up. I
like that
because they're black and they're from Africa, the motherland. So it doubles the ratio. So for every one African you friend, you got 2 Africans. 2 black people, 2 black friends.
All right, cool.
So just keep that in mind.
All right, cool.
Right.
So, because I always wonder why we do that to each other. Like we try to minimize what a person's doing by going down to. I think it's always the lowest form.
Yeah.
And always talking about black. Well, if you have a white wife or white girlfriend, or
it shouldn't matter. Just like your guy who did the what's the movie? We like the
Oh, you're talking about Nate Parker.
Nate Parker.
Yeah.
That's the first thing they mentioned.
Yeah.
Great movie, excellent movie.
It really was an
excellent movie.
Everybody should have sold out. I'm really upset.
Excellent. Everybody supported, but the first thing they did, well, the two things about it was his criminal background,
right?
Which, like I said, he was found innocent. I forgot, he was wrongfully accused.
He was wrongfully accused,
right?
But they didn't mention the wrongfully
accused part. They just mentioned that he was charged. They didn't say if he went to court or whatever.
Black women led the charge,
right?
Too,
exactly. So they didn't tell the whole story. That's another thing we do to each other. And then also the fact that he was with a white woman,
right? And it was like, how can you be?
But the crazy thing is, you don't know. Back to the charge, was it a black woman that accused him?
I feel you on that.
And people, a lot of times we don't understand how we traumatize each other at the things we do, how we were raised. Because you think about a lot of times, if we usually dealing with a lot of loud, as we see it, or ratchet black women as we're younger, and we're like, and they feel at certain times you at times in some cases there may be some abuse or whatever, maybe. Right. But in a sense, if we're not something that we don't want to deal with or put up with, the first thing we look is to outside of our, outside of the box.
Right.
Same thing with, black women, same thing. Hey, there's certain things you get tired of dealing with, and you feel it's ingrained in you that that's all black men are like that. And you start looking at two other races.
You know what we should talk about?
That's another show though. But let's get back to what you were talking about, the black card thing. Right. But it's so, like I said, it's one of the things we do to hold each other back. Set each other back. Never set it, hold each other down in a good way, but hold each other, not because you should be holding each other up instead of holding each other down.
True.
Set ourselves back, hold each other down, basically just leave each other behind. Or reason to overlook each other, even to help. Like I said, all of a sudden be that, like the concept they say, the crab in the barrel mentality. The first thing I'm looking for is, hey, okay, well, damn, my son, damn, he got a white dog. What? Damn, and he got a white girl, white wife, And he got, and he got all these white friends. Oh yeah, his black card's totally both. And he don't eat watermelon, and he don't drink great Kool-Aid. No. You know what I'm saying?
And I have kale smoothies. I'm just all.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you get smoothies, yeah, man, and that sort of thing. And that is so crazy that we do that. We keep talking about, like you say, we keep speaking it, but we're not standing on what we speak.
I do agree with that.
We don't do that, and that's the thing. And they see that, and they work. They, as those powers, whether it's white, black, whoever, they work on that.
I agree with you.
I'm saying white, black. White and black and whatever for the walk, because there's people like us that don't like us.
I agree with you, and it's more than we think.
Right? People don't understand that. Like Uncle Ruckus, people like Uncle Ruckus actually do exist.
Yes, yeah.
What? Like, in other words, they don't see themselves as their actual skin complexion. Mm-hmm. They may see themselves as Asian. They may see themselves as Caucasian. They may see themselves as, what's another one? European, Caucasian. We just say white. They may see themselves Native American. But how they can identify themselves, that's how they look at themselves. They look at themselves as black.
Or they say, I'm American. And it's like,
right.
He wasn't in the Constitution, but.
Right. But yeah, that's what I think. It's so wrong to start doing that. And that was going to happen sooner or later, because it could be those people who suing that. Because you think about it, man. When we start doing stuff, like when we start standing up against institutions like NFL, or things in NFL, all of a sudden all your little secrets about you, because it's crazy that all of a sudden that they worry about his white wife. Okay, the man's white wife, but it's like I said, it's still a black man, still on an issue that involves black people.
I'm with you.
You know what I'm saying? I'm getting that, and that doesn't, and people. And like another instance, remember, I'm not sure how many years ago, might be 7, might be almost 10 years ago. Remember the girls in Cleveland that were gone for 10 years? And and the one white girl escaped and ran to this big old tall black man.
Yeah.
And the first thing he did was he called the police, and he was a hero.
Yes.
But then the following week, the next thing you know what they did? Find every reason to tear that man down. Every charge they put up his history.
They did that with the guy in the Waffle House that
took
down that
gun.
Last year. I see why cops shoot them first, because look how he could just take down them gunmen like that. I'm like, damn.
Right. You see what I'm saying? And so it's just one of them things. It's like sometimes it's gonna be us doing the taking our own people out, and sometimes it's gonna be them setting us up to take on people out.
Hey, I always say, the people who shot Malcolm X and Martin Luther King were black, but we don't want to talk about that.
So I mean, it's like I said, we when we start addressing issues that are issues, and it's one of us doing it, all of a sudden, all our skeletons come out. So that's one thing. Like I said, I think a lot of us are afraid of sometimes our skeletons, but they are what they are.
Does it make you appreciate Obama more?
It do. I always appreciate him because the thing, and people don't understand. I didn't vote for him because he's black. Because you know what he did before he decided to run for president? He put everything in the book.
Yeah, he did.
Everything in the book.
He did. By the way, I hope y'all read that.
Everything in the book.
He did.
Everything in the book. He was so smart about that. Mm-hmm. Nobody had to dig anything up. So I'm pretty sure they tried to run the background. Oh yeah, he did this. Oh yeah, let me yeah, he did some coke. Yeah, he did some. Yeah, we did.
Well, all his white friends were in the Senate.
Exactly. He probably asked every single. He probably put his names in the book and everything. Yeah, it was Timmy Johnson from such and such and such. Matter of fact, he's still there now. If you want to reach out to him, they reached out to. We did lines of coke. We did stripper. All the strippers, like I say, all the strippers with Charlie Sheen. Exactly, with Charlie Sheen. With the tiger roaring in the background. Matter of fact, it was the same tiger that Mike Tyson owned. It was a white tiger. Matter of fact,
he was there too. It was a party.
It was a party. Yeah. So I mean, and that's the thing you do because matter of fact, that's a good example. The president himself, even though he didn't get a lot accomplished, we still tore him down.
Right.
But the point is, at one point we had one of us in office, regardless. And remember, now he's half African. Okay, that's the point.
That is true.
But he's still an American.
Yeah.
Of the same hue. Like I said, it had to be one of us eventually.
And he had the black story too. His father left him.
He had to be raised by his mother's family.
Yeah.
And then, but guess what? He turned around and he moved to Chicago because I know somebody who actually knew him in Chicago. He was in the neighborhoods like that, And he started working in the community, became a community leader.
And worked his way up.
To where now he's right. Yeah, because the thing I told somebody is the first time I saw him, because like I said, the first time when they mentioned who was going to do the speech at the Democrat National Convention, I called my guy up. I said, "Hey, isn't that the guy?" I said, "Yeah, that's him." He need to tell you that story once you meet Troy. You need Troy's hilarious story about him. But I was like, okay. So I watched it, and that was the most eloquent speech.
Yeah.
Whether it's white, black, whoever.
Made Hillary cry.
Exactly. And I was like, that man's going to run for president. I said it in the back of my head. And I don't know why I said that. I was like, damn, he's going to run for president. It's just the way he said it. The way he just like, of course he made Hillary cry. She didn't know what she getting set up for. But she could, yeah. He's like, yeah, chick, you ready? You're going to do a lot of that once November comes in a couple of years. You're going to do a lot of that crying. Just be ready. Just be practicing.
Yeah.
I'll see the Kleenexes. Well, yeah. But yeah, man, we do that too often. I mean, I think that's always gonna come up when something we talk about is holding ourselves. And I think we hold ourselves back as well too. And I mean, me as an individual, I think I hold myself back. You set yourself back. But I think we allow others to do that as well, or to build on that, or to give you a reason to, yeah, man, you shouldn't. But
I actually agree with that. I think as black people, especially black men, we
get that self-doubt.
Yeah, we get self-doubt quickly. And then I say this more than what a lot of people say. It may be controversial, but our black card is on display more than anybody else within our race. Because if anything I do, the first thing you're going to do is criticize me.
Yeah, you're gonna check my background. Right. You're gonna run my background. You're gonna call people who know of me in that neighborhood, and whether they tell the truth or not, you're gonna take it for their word.
Exactly.
And that's another thing like I said, we don't back each other like we should. Because regardless, hey, somebody called me about my son. Hey, did my son rob banks? Yeah, my son robbed banks. He robbed. He had the plan to rob the damn mint. And I was about to get in on it, man, but look, I had to go to college or something. You know, something
Red tape was in the back.
yeah,
too,
you know what I'm saying?
boy.
Yeah, you know, it's something like that. We look to, like I said, when people fact check, vet us. I mean, that's saying, and the thing about it is, what do you vet? It depends on what you're vetting them about.
Right.
That's it. So don't get me wrong. Don't if you try to be up and coming rapper, somebody might have, don't no. But at the same time, don't sit there and try to that dude was a nerd. He used to get beat up all the time.
I think if you can have a happy medium,
Yeah.
where it could be like, everything he's done is either public knowledge or he'll tell you himself.
Right.
I think it should be left at that. I don't think if people really for you, they will say something like that. They won't get into, oh well, let me. It'll be more like, did you ask him? And be like, well, we're trying to ask him. Well, if you didn't ask him, then
but the thing about it is, weird bait. Because the thing about it is, we look for people. Never had a good wording for it. We look to knock them down, whether it's the truth or not the whole truth. A lot of times, that's the problem. That's these two, whether the whole truth. Like for instance, the Rick Ross thing. I mean, if he's rapping these great stories about how much drugs he's slaying, I can understand. You want to, run the street cred.
right.
Of course, gonna find out, he used to be a corrections officer.
Like, you could have rapped about that. I'm just one of those people. I'm not the one. Go ahead.
No, you're right though. It could, and just not to jump off subject, but a lot of times the stuff that because, and I understand. I think I know what direction you were going with it. We often, because a lot of early rappers, now there's some rappers that I've been told that they were about their life. At the same time, they didn't rap about it. They didn't put it on. But there's those that told a good story. Now, mind you, it's a story.
Right.
And there was some truth to the story. And it just may have been somebody's name they threw in there. There's that, you know what I'm saying?
I get that. And I know
but that's back.
Writing fiction.
That's back then, though. That's back then, though.
Right.
But now I can see where you so much, I did all these drugs. I sold all these drugs. All these people. Nigga, you 15 years old. You had time to do all this. You just got to take your midterm exams.
Like, damn, dude. You get ready for the prom. I saw you.
Exactly.
Matter of fact, that's how it is with and this generation is weird because I'm not gonna say weird, but they really be pulling these rappers' cards now. They'll be like, oh, you was doing this, and they'll show their high school picture. They be the nerdiest people in high school.
It's crazy.
I'm like, dang, boy, like y'all really
like your boy 6ix9ine. I guarantee you.
Oh, he went to a private school.
See, how's it 8 Mile? How's it he go? This is Terrence.
Yeah,
Terrence has both of his parents.
And that was a diss.
Man,
I want people to really understand that that was a diss.
Right.
Like, he has both their parents. And they do well. That was a diss.
And you went to a private school. Yeah. And that's and that goes back. Like I said, we, sometimes you don't need to project your credibility like that.
That was funny. I still, you know what? I might even watch that on YouTube one. Because that's like that was a diss. I don't even think people really Eminem really dissed them. The crowd really took that as a diss. That he had both his parents.
Because look how he's projecting himself to be. And a lot of times, like I say, nothing wrong projecting yourself as a certain image. The great athlete, the great performer. But when you start categorizing yourself as the pill popping drug dealer, the pill popping rapping drug dealer, people gonna start questioning. Start, like I said, you know. And now there are the rappers out there about their life, but even still, you gotta let that life go.
I would, man.
You gotta move on. Like, you still can't be in the street. Like, and I think that's the issue with a lot of these young souls. Nope. Yeah. But let's get back on subject. So
I got another one I want to throw at you.
Okay, throw something out.
So people, I guess they're upset because they found out Joe Rogan used the N word a lot.
How are they surprised?
Because I guess people thought that he was so.
Because you know what? People go, no, finish what you're saying. Go ahead.
I think we gotta go down the same.
Go ahead.
So, he's so anti-vax, and all these people who want to be, oh yeah, he did. Then you find out, no, he's really a scumbag like the rest of these people who don't look like us. And they're like, oh, he used the N-word, now he wants to apologize. Here's my answer, and I always say this about people: don't apologize. Because you're not apologizing because you said it.
You got caught.
Yeah, you got caught. You didn't think, because if you really felt like, you know what, you could have came out when your show started.
Yeah.
Hey,
nigga.
Exactly.
Nigga.
You said
nigga.
You so comfortable saying that. So the first question would be, how do you feel about that? Second, how do you feel about Black people who come to the aid of the white people who degrade us? Because I think that there's a normal theme, especially when it comes to Hollywood.
So make sure you keep your questions in order.
Yeah.
Give me the first question.
The first question is how do you feel about
Joe Rogan
and him saying the N-word? And
for one, I think he's been around. He got too comfortable being around like the Black people he knows, like Mike Tyson, Dave Chappelle. Now, mind you, he probably didn't say that around Mike Tyson. I'm pretty sure he didn't say the N-word around Mike Tyson. I'm guaranteed.
Not Mike Tyson.
Yeah, not Mike Tyson.
Dave Chappelle,
possibly.
Yeah.
Probably they were high or something, but even still doesn't make it right.
Right.
And that's my thing. And also, you see, if you apologize for saying it in public, you're comfortable saying it in private. Wrong guy who knows who, like Tom Segura and what's the other guy named Bird Kreisner, I think his name. They're pretty good comedians too.
You talking about Kramer? Remember the guy from Seinfeld?
No, I don't.
He said it too.
Oh yeah. But I mean, he got comfortable around them, and they probably been there for like, I don't know about the dude Bird, because I don't know if I showed him some of his. He's usually pretty good comic, but still, yeah, for in order you to even say it like that on such a platform, you got comfortable enough to say it in private amongst the God knows who, and then you felt so full of yourself, in my opinion, you just went ahead and just, you know what? You got so many followers.
Okay, I agree with that.
You know what I'm getting at?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Hey,
it's a new alcohol.
You know what I'm saying? Because remember, like I said, like you said, that's the new drug. It's the fame, the notoriety, and everything. They get so full of themselves. I just say whatever I want to say. That's my opinion. Whatever. What are they gonna do to me?
Okay. No, I agree with that.
And it's not the same thing as the Dave Chappelle thing. It's a total different thing. Like I said, you said something that offends a race, as opposed to based on that. A group of people based on their race, as opposed to based on a group of people on their sexual orientation.
Right.
And even then, what he said, if you sat there, if you're, not to say people are dumb, if you're intelligent enough to sit there and just watch it instead of try to sit there and analyze it,
you will understand.
You understand what Dave Chappelle was saying,
right?
Because I understood what he was saying. Okay, that makes sense, and it was funny, because like you said, if you see his previous, but I'm sorry, I'm getting off. Sorry, let's get back to Joe Rogan. So, like I said, because he's been on there with Snoop Dogg, he's been on there, like I said, Mike Tyson, Dave Chappelle, Donnell Rawlings, countless other Black people,
right?
And Neil Tyson deGrasse as well has been on there, and he's always had a certain decorum with him.
So
he had a certain decorum because you pay attention. Like I tell people, because I like what he said, because I do watch some of the stuff he says, but you gotta pay attention to the decorum when he's talking to.
I know what you're saying. He's one of those. Like,
right.
When I'm talking to this particular group of people, my vocabulary is different. When I talk to you people.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
you getting Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
You get Joe Rogan, and one of them times Joe got Joe at home came to work. Joe at home came to work. Joe at home hanging out with the fellas, smoking weed, drinking beer, driving ATVs, doing his jujitsu, whatever. That's who came. That's who came. That's who showed up to work them few times,
I agree.
So what's your second question?
How do you feel about, the African Americans who come to their aid when things like this happen? When things are uncovered with their past, there are always African Americans who will run to these Caucasians' aid.
Now, depends on who it is. Now, if somebody's been on the show before, or somebody he considers a friend.
So,
okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
No. That's a great question because I can't say,
or it might be both.
It might be both.
I got a third one too.
Okay, go ahead.
It might be somebody just want to get their name out there and they just gonna step up there.
I like that. I never thought about that. Okay. That was actually a good one. And I guess in totality,
okay,
how you feel, just not in his situation, just in general, when things happen with white people, like when Roseanne came out with Roseanne, some black comedians like, and it's like every time something happens to these Caucasians and I could say Hollywood and actually in the NFL because Tiki Barber came to the aid of the Giants owner and said, "No, there's no racist bone in their body and everything." And I'm saying,
but you're doing that to get something out of it. You're looking for something.
Okay, and that's how I look at it. Okay,
right. And I agree. Now, if you're genuine about it, that's the thing. You can tell genuine, and when I mean genuine, think about it. It's not just one time he's spoken out of turn like that. This is several times.
Right.
Several times. Now, I'm not sure if you watched. I catch his clips. And I do watch some of the shows. And like I tell you, that's how I can tell y'all I know difference in when he's talking to certain people. His decorum is totally different. His vocabulary, because you get a chance to go check out. Like watch the one he's with Mike Tyson. The atmosphere is kind of loose, whatever, but it's so in a sense calm. But you watch other ones, it's chaotic in a sense. Something's going on. He's laughing. I mean, he's laughing jokes, whatever. With Mike Tyson, he's kind of more.
He fears it.
Not out of fear, just knowing that, or even Snoop Dogg too, because even since they're smoking and joking, but in a sense, he's still kind of he's on his P's and Q's.
Right. So he knows what to say.
He knows what to say. I guarantee you, if he would have said any word from Snoop Dogg, probably been a whole different story. Not that Snoop Dogg would have jumped on him, but I'm pretty sure the conversation would have gone a totally different direction.
I agree with you. It's a tightrope because I asked myself, what will I do in that situation? And then something that someone said, which made sense. How do you know someone's not racist?
Right.
You're looking at me crazy, like, and the reason why I thought that was very profound, like he spoke the word of God, was because just because someone accepts you, don't mean they accept your race.
Okay.
And I think sometimes, especially rich black people, get caught up with they accept my race when no, you have the money for them to tolerate you.
I don't think. I get what you're saying. I don't think it's to accept your race. They overlook your race and accept you.
Okay.
They look past that. Because the money can make you overlook a lot of shit.
Right. Yeah. And
language.
No. And even if you look down in the lower areas, even there's times where you can see people even on our economic level where you could be like, if you was around maybe two other people that look like you, that conversation may have went different.
Of course.
So I can't say you're not racist. What I can say is I have not experienced racism with you. However, I'm starting to realize that that's not the truth. I think a lot of times as black people who are in those atmospheres, we overlook it because we don't want to be the one to point it out. So
you don't be the outcast.
Exactly. Yeah. So I believe Joe Rogan has probably called everybody a nigga and said some harmful things about black people around certain black people, but they didn't say nothing. Oh. Howard Stern been one of those people to have done that, and who be right beside him? Robin.
Laughing and giggling away. I
Exactly.
used to have a crush on her. Until
she actually is cute.
She was.
Or I haven't seen her recently, but yeah, she was cute. But yeah, he's another one.
That. Yeah, I was like, you know what?
Tiki Barber, he's been one, and I don't even understand it. His twin, it's like night and day, and they twins. Rondell look like you could just Tiki, like, yo, I gotta watch you. And his whole life to him screwing over his baby mama or his wife when she was pregnant, leaving her for another white girl at his job while he's not working at a certain job anymore. But we won't go down that story. Mm-hmm. But it's just, I find it interesting because you said something which made sense. It's not the first time.
No.
So you've been saying this, and you've been saying this around people who look like me. They just been letting it go.
Right.
I can't remember what comedian it was, but they said that Chris Rock is one of those comedians where people say stuff around him because they don't fear him enough to stand up.
Mm.
They say if you look at some clips, you'll see how the white comedians treat him and say things around him. They're like, that stuff don't fly when other comedians are around. And they'll show another clip where other comedians are around, kind of like how with Joe Rogan.
Right.
Those white comedians don't do that.
Right.
So I do feel as though that sometimes by us being quiet and allowing it to go gives them the battery to say,
of course,
who's gonna stop me now? If he didn't stop me, who else gonna stop me? Right. So I find that weird, man.
Yeah.
It's a slippery slope because you always want to protect your friend, because you brought that up earlier. Right. So you want to protect your friend, but however, we really don't know. And I know people are like, well, you really don't know the black person either. Right. True, but we are coming to find out that behind closed doors, 95% of these white people be niggering it up. Yeah, we find that out. I know you're like, how is that? Because your kids are actually going to school saying it.
Yeah.
Your kids are actually repeating it.
They repeat what you say.
Exactly. Yeah. So we know, and we're learning more and more that y'all are really out here really trying to bring back that race.
Ninja it up. Ninja up.
Yep.
Ninja up. Ninjas.
So I just don't like it when I think we have to be cautious when we do things, especially, and black women are good at that. Soon as a white woman gets distressed, here comes the black woman to save her life. And you know what she does after that? She says, "Thank you, but I still make more money than you."
Where you be seeing this at? That's
the View.
Oh, I had to go there.
And then what's the other one? The Talk.
Yeah.
Any show with multiple black women on there, they
got. Well, the Talk. Which one is it? The View has the one black woman, don't they?
Now, Whoopi was on there, but she's suspended.
Yeah. Okay. Then, either way, yeah, I can see what you're getting at. They get you to come through, and it's not only just us. It happens to us. It happens to other races too.
Right.
Like you said, like I said, you never know. People get too comfortable.
Yeah.
Too comfortable. Nobody to check them. No one to check them at all. Damn. So you feel, and honestly, in my opinion, do you think that's something that'll ever change?
No. And the reason why is because we always had house niggas.
Oh, dang. You use the H word.
And I'm not saying it in a bad way. And I actually thought about this. Some people are not comfortable standing up. So they find a way to fit in.
Okay.
And at one point in time in my life, I used to be mad at them. But then I had to understand that I can't be mad at them because they don't know what to do. They're scared.
That's the way it's getting by.
Right.
Okay.
So survival mode, fight or flight.
Right.
They're going to find a way to fit in.
Right.
We don't realize this, but there were people who helped us onto those boats in Africa that looked like us.
True.
There were people who helped us off them boats in America.
But I got there with that too, though.
Okay.
I don't think they necessarily did it to say because, and that's just my theory. I don't think they said, "Oh, you're gonna go on this boat, and get on and get whipped, raped.
No, they didn't know that. No.
And that's the thing I can say, because I think when they because in the sense of war, yeah, they went to war, and they had captains, but in the sense of we didn't, hey, we're changing who you are. Oh no, you're gonna still be who you are, but hey, we protect and look over you now. You are part of our bigger village, our nation type sense.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, you want to take people back with you to work? Oh yeah, okay, cool. They can help. Yeah, get on. You get on the boat. You know.
Yeah. No. I'm not saying like
okay,
they knew. No, I don't think
we're gonna sell you into slavery for these people to take advantage of it.
But it was a currency.
I got you.
So you want to conquer your enemies? I give you this. In return, give us a percentage of your enemies.
Okay.
And then they came back and took those people back with them also. So it kind of, but I don't think it was knowingly that they was going to do. No. I'll never say that because I don't think anybody war. I think, especially in those days, I don't believe war was that type of pillaging war.
Yeah.
Vikings, that's what they did.
Oh.
But you don't hear that in history with other people, except for the Vikings and the Mongolians.
Right.
Yeah, they were the ones that went and did all of that. But for the most part, you didn't hear about that. Especially, it was more of civilized war. If we capture you, we capture you. Even in the Bible, they talked about if you was captured, you was captured.
Right.
But they didn't think. I don't think they understood.
Now, believe me, they did some stuff like they did slaughter some people.
No. Yeah,
they did, but it wasn't the point to, like you said, to we degrade you. We grind you down. Well, the Israelites.
Yeah.
But, okay.
But I do, and the reason why I say there'll always be house Negroes, ninjas, AKs, is because some people, they just don't want to stand up. And we talked about this before where we said, Martin Luther King and Malcolm X got hatred from both sides. Like, there were people that were black that did not want him to speak in their churches. People don't want, and I always said, to a lot of black people now, especially these ones that raise their hands saying pro-black, I said, how would you feel to know that your grandparents probably were the ones that did not want Martin Luther King there? How would you feel if you knew that your grandparents were the ones that were okay with the way that life was? How would you feel? Because a lot of us don't understand that not every black person wanted to change. Some people were happy.
Fine the way it was.
Yeah. And some just didn't want to rock the boat. There's a difference, and I think I guess we should clarify. There's a difference with saying it's fine the way it is, in the midst of we got businesses, we got this, we got that, and then there was some that was just like, as long as I keep my head down, they ain't gonna bother me. But they call me boy and this and that, but it don't bother me. They're the ones that had the businesses and stuff. They actually stood up more.
Right.
But I just think that you always have those people who will always say, they could call me what they want, but as long as they accept me. And I realize it's not that you're accepted, you're the joke. You're the jester. Okay.
That's what's up, man. So dang. Good point. Because man, so with it being Black History Month, seeing the posters around buildings, you see, people doing more events for Black History Month. Now, speaking of which, there were certain artists that said we should do away with Black History Month.
Was it T-Pain?
It was T-Pain. Now, what is your take on it? What is what is your take? I want to break it up. Just give me your full take. So, like, what do you agree with? Do you agree with? What do you don't agree with? We'll just go with that.
It's just crazy because now it's like, hey, you've been talking all that junk. Now it's time to crap and get off the pot. So I'm gonna say this. I agree. However, I'm gonna say no. And I'm gonna say why I agree. I agree because I think we have outgrown having Black History Month. I think we are at a point in history where we don't have to look for the schedule of Black History Month, which is Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, slavery. That's the schedule. And then there's athletes.
Right.
And that's the entertainers. That's the schedule. So that's what the school puts out. And then our kids learn that. I think we don't need that anymore. I think we're beyond that. I think we're too intelligent to follow that. I say no because once we remove that fence, then we're gonna start removing other fences,
Right.
and I'm scared that the domino effect will actually end up hurting us more.
True. I understand that.
So, but I do agree we do need to get rid of it. How though is the fact that we stop allowing them to use us during this month.
Yeah.
T-Mobile love us this month. McDonald's love us this month. AT&T love us this month.
True.
Your church loves you this month.
Nike loves you this month.
Nike loves me. Nike loves me this month.
Right.
I wish they loved me other months, but they love me this particular month. So all these people love us this month, and we allow them to.
Right.
And then March comes.
Right.
But you know who they love more than anybody else on earth?
George Washington.
That's true.
Go ahead.
So that So
George Washington.
We lose.
Right. Who they love more? That's what I know.
The gay and lesbian community.
Okay.
Because they changed laws. We get love, and we're still getting love. And the shortest month would happen to be 1 week, so we have to thank God that we made 2 months. If it was a week, then we didn't exist. So at least now we're a month. But I don't think people really understand that if we don't stop them from using us, instead of if they want to come to you and be like, "Hey, let's do a Black History commercial." Okay, let's do it in August. No, let's do it in February. I'm good. Who's gonna turn down the money? Not many Black people turn down the money, but if you did turn down the money, now I'm saying they'll be like, okay, if Black History is really 365, then August is still in the 365.
Yeah,
but they don't.
Right.
So we get stuck with everything coming this month. And now every commercial, Hulu and everybody, oh, we love these Black people. We love Black people. And we're stupid enough to be like, oh, they love us. Just to take us to the back seat of the trunk, put a bag over our head, pump, skeet on our butt, and leave.
Okay.
That's how we should feel. That's exactly how we should feel.
How we should feel.
How you feel about that?
I have this similar point. I can see where he said, or what he says about really not needed anymore, But I also agree, if we start pulling up our own fences, like you said, because sort of goes back to the thing we spoke about with the Confederate monuments. We start taking theirs down as we look at it, and I say we as the community, they'll start taking ours down. Martin Luther King part, and the Martin Luther King Boulevard.
I want to add to that too.
Juneteenth will go away. We just got the holiday. Just got the federal holidays.
Didn't get a chance to try it on yet.
Yeah, really put your foot in and do your thing in it yet. So he has a good point. I just don't think it should be our only time we emphasize our culture, our full history, which I think should be incorporated into every world history, American history, European history, every history that's taught in this country.
No, I agree with you.
It should be integrated. Like I said, it's gonna be a thick ass book. But at the same,
you could trim it. I'm not our history. You could trim some of the world history. We don't need.
Yeah.
You could trim
because Roman.
Yeah, we don't need.
The Romans lived forever.
Yeah, exactly.
We just a short. I'm sorry. Let me forget world history as well. World history.
Yeah.
Because I did say world history, didn't I?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So world history.
They can short up some of it.
Yeah, exactly. So hey, that's what I feel.
I like what you said because that goes back to what are we talking about? And I think that's the problem with Black people. We say stuff like, yeah, we should get rid of it, but we don't have no plan of action.
That would always be.
But that makes sense. Why not? We're saying here once again, we're not added to the textbooks.
Right.
We're not even really mentioning the textbooks unless it's a block on slavery. So,
hey, we were in American history. We were part of the beginning of the American Revolution.
That's true.
Crispus Attucks.
Yeah. Other than that, and that took how long it took them to add that. But that's the thing. So we don't have any plan of action to say, okay, if we remove this, what go? So if you have pets and you have your fence, you have a fence in your backyard, you have pets, you let them roam free, and one day you say, you know what, I don't want the fence no more, but I still want my pets to roam free. So what do? I still have the fence, but it's a visible line, an invisible fence where it's a shock collar. So it's still there, but it
Right.
gives me the illusion of having open, but it's
Right.
still the barricade
Right.
there. We don't even do that.
Right.
We just like, nah, we don't need it anymore. And I'm like, cool. I said, I'm one of those people. I said, I'm not a Black History Month fan, but however, I do understand its purpose. And until we put something together to say, hey, we have this,
Right.
then no, we can't get rid of this.
Because I'm pretty sure if you, because I've actually told you I took a class, African American history in high school. I'm pretty sure you could easily weave what was going on, because in this book it thoroughly puts us in certain places, a certain time. You know, hey, around this time, so and so was doing this. This was when the Romans were doing this. We were doing this. You know, type deal. This is what was going on with us.
You know what makes it even greater is because then the Roman Empire tried to go down to a place called Egypt,
Yeah,
which is in Africa.
Yeah, they did conquer it at one point, because that's
But-
how they, you know.
But yet you don't talk about that,
Right.
because you just say Egypt. Well, there were other countries that they tried to invade that did
Right.
not fall.
Right.
There were, during the time of the Black Plague, who really helped them throughout that process? People don't know that. Who taught them irrigation? Who taught them how to get rid of their waste? See, they think the plague came from rats, which is true, but the rats came because of the nastiness.
Right.
Who taught them not to live with their animals?
Well,
I mean, but it's coincide. So if Thomas Edison invented the light bulb, who was the person that helped him?
Okay.
So it can be integrated because our
Right.
history, you know,
Right.
who was with George Washington Carver when he was doing his experiments. You know, they could be intertwined and woven to where
I was a white guy at the time.
Yeah, it was a white guy. We don't know the white guy. We don't care about his name. But you know, our history, you know, when we talk about space, how many Black astronauts could fit into that category?
Hey, true.
So there's ways to weave it in.
Okay.
Yeah. Even if we say we talk about the Civil War, we talk about the Black Regiment. You could intertwine that.
True.
So, but we're not having those types of conversations, and I think that's where I have the issue at with us as Black people. And we talked about this: great planning, poor execution.
Right.
But they'll take what T-Pain said and they'll run it up the flagpole because they'll be like, "Yo, he's hip." You know what I'm saying? He's on TV, and you know he and that young Black man, you know, he's about something.
Subscribe, you know, pay on his Patreon account. After you said that, he probably got $1 million on that for folks. You know what? I agree with P-Pain.
Yeah, let's get rid of Black. And the reason why I say is I'm glad you brought up the statues is because there was a lady, Caucasian lady, that wanted to remove Michelle Obama book from the school library because she said it was racist.
What made it racist?
Because it identified with Black women and young Black girls. Like there's not a billion books in that particular school library that identify.
What the girls going to identify with? Ramona and Beezus. Good stories. I've read them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, hey, but still.
But see, it starts. That's how they do it. So it's tick for tat.
Right.
And that's why I said we got to stop the tit for tat because we're good at that. We'll tit for tat with you. Oh, you burn down our church, we'll tear down your statue. Well, how about let's try not to tear down their statues and not get our church burned at the same time. Let's try to fix something.
Right.
Let's try to figure this out because boys and girls, we're in this for the long haul.
Yeah.
There's no other place we can go.
Hey.
I hate to say this, but Canada maybe, but Jamaicans got Canada on lock. Look at Drake. So we're not light enough to be in Canada. You either got to be this light or this dark. Like Canada, there's no in between.
Oh, I don't know about that, but okay. You say so.
We can't go to none of the islands.
Okay.
No matter how many dreads y'all grow, you can't go to the islands. We can't go back to the continent of Africa because we really don't have a spot. And by the way, what happened to um Akon Land? Ain't heard about Akon Land in a while. But you know who has? His Asian investors.
Mhm.
Y'all ain't hear from me. I don't want to get shot. I don't want to die. I love all people.
Mhm.
But I thought, yeah, that is interesting. I mean, I do understand where T-Pain coming from. I just, when you take down walls and fences, you have to understand why they're up. And I never understood that.
Right.
I honestly never understood that. It's like, you got to understand why it was put up, because it was put up for a reason. Like we talked about, affirmative action was put up for a reason. Now, has it worked to the benefit of us recently? Probably not. Has it helped us out tremendously? No, because we never had the right execution for it.
Mm.
But I can't take it away because it exists for a reason. Like
Right.
and that's the part I don't think we understand, that these things exist for a reason.
Mhm.
So we have to figure out, do we need to improve on it? Because you can
Yeah.
improve on
Oh, yeah, you
things.
can always improve upon it.
So maybe we need to start improving on these things before we start taking them away.
Because for one, we don't set ourselves to exceed the standard.
Hmm.
We don't set ourselves to exceed standard. Most of us are not. We'll accept. Hey, what's the guideline? What's the lowest I can get? Like 69. Cool. All right, I'm gonna get a 69.
Ooh, now you hurt my feelings, but that sound like me. Man, what I need is just a C.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying?
I mean, that hurt my heart because, yeah, me and Monica talked about that all the time. She was like, why you always trying to be a C student? I said, because they get you into the presidency. I got Bush on my wall. I don't know about y'all.
Oh, wow.
but you're right. But you're right, though. We do. I think that is an issue, I guess. I ain't gonna guess. That is an issue we have, is we don't try to exceed the standard. We always try to either match it or get close to it, but we never try to exceed it, because like maybe we think if that's too far to the sun.
It doesn't hurt to try to reach for it though.
No, you're right.
It doesn't hurt.
And I'm gonna change that. No more C student.
So, but yeah, I think that's how I feel, in my opinion, man. You just, with everything being said, there's always, everybody's gonna have an answer. Everybody's gonna have an opinion, a response, but you gotta try something. And like I said, I think it was his sense of forward thinking,
Right.
and I think that's what people often, a lot of times, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a forward thinking and just say something that it's an idea.
I agree with you.
But it's not a good, always the best idea. As we say, it's not always the best idea.
Correct.
Because like I said, if we don't have Black American history, is it Black American or Black history?
I thought it was African American history.
Okay, we'll just say African American history. If I don't have African American history,
what do we call ourselves?
That's a whole nother conversation you ready to start. But yeah, so I mean, we sit there and we damn, yes, we sit there and try to execute certain ideas, but actually with a true deep thought into it. You get what T-Pain gets. That, oh wow, wait a minute, you do, because sometimes you can tell somebody to put no thought into it.
Right.
It might be, the concept might be great, it might be excellent, what you may be thinking, but what the idea is, but you got to put thoughts into the ideas. And remember, if you're gonna put it out there, not that you got to hold back what you got to say, but you got to be prepared to explain what you're saying.
Okay. I agree.
And it's gonna be, oh, let's get rid of Black people because I'm tired of celebrating Martin Luther King and da da da. And but like you said, if you they only pay attention to certain parts of his speech,
true,
instead of the full speech.
That's true. That's true. I agree.
Because they'll play to the beginning and to the part where they talk about everybody's equal, but like I said, it'll go beyond what his idea of what America should be.
That's true. And I you know what, that I think that's an issue that we all have. So got a good story, and it's about Charleston.
Okay, go ahead.
So back when I was a young lad, think it was 89, 90,
You was living in Aiken.
when we had moved down to Aiken.
You still come I'm gonna ask your
When
mom.
we moved to Aiken.
Was my son born in Aiken? My son was born in Aiken. We trying to claim North Carolina. We don't want you. Go ahead now.
And
If she said you were born in Aiken, you no longer a Duke fan. I'll tell you that now. You quit being a Duke fan. I'm gonna tell everybody.
I moved to North Carolina.
Whatever. You tell me anything. I don't give a damn. Go ahead, man.
And
Go ahead.
this is the first time I ever came to the Color Festival.
In Beaufort.
In Beaufort.
In the city of Beaufort. Not St. Helena.
City of Beaufort, yes. I didn't know nothing about St. Helena. Right. I'll say this. I don't remember if anybody told me about that, but I do remember Beaufort.
Right.
I went there and it was amazing and beautiful. So I ended up getting 2 tapes from there.
Okay.
One of them was MC Hammer. Can't touch this because that was popular. So I don't care if anybody say that was popular. The other one was Martin Luther King speeches.
Okay.
And it's funny you say that because that was the first time I have ever heard this his speeches in its entirety.
Right.
And once you hear it in its entirety, just like with Malcolm X and a lot of other people, once you hear it in its entirety, you start realizing we lost the vision because we've been cutting pieces out.
That's what
fit.
And I don't know if I ever said it. I think I meant to say it and I lost my train of thought getting to that point. The minute certain things that he was working on got accomplished, the rest of the different path was taken. Okay, yeah, we got the voter rights. Okay, we good. We doing something else. That hey, with voters' rights. Okay, cool. What's next? Hey, how to become economically equal?
Right.
How to become, certain things. And those same people. Now, mind you, these are people that stood by the Malcolm and whoever else. They ventured off the path because why? They saw, you know what? Yeah, that's gonna take too much time. Working up at the same time, it took Martin Luther King Jr. to get this whole thing rolling with the rights.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen overnight, and that's what we fall short at. The people that picked it up and supposed to carry the vision on for them. Right. No, they saw what they could benefit for themselves, which they have.
True.
For themselves, because
Jesse Jackson lived good,
right, and ventured onto other things to the point where I think it's short for president. Okay, I could be the mayor of Atlanta. Mind you, he was one of the greatest mayors ever in Atlanta.
True.
Greatest. But a lot of change didn't come to him after he moved on. So, but I mean, even still, point being said, we get upset for them 28, 29 days during leap year, but at the same time, we can observe it, like you said, 365 days a year. Like I said, but we didn't. This way, slavery didn't start in 28 days. Yeah. That's that way. You know what I'm saying?
Good point.
You know what I'm getting? We starting in 28 days.
That's true. You're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
we didn't. Slavery. And let's say or say because present day, we'll say slavery still exists in a sense. But let's say slavery for what what was looked at as outrageous at that time. At that time, didn't start in 28 days.
I agree with
you. We didn't, like I said, we didn't get the voters' rights in 28 days. Within those 28 days.
No, I agree. I 100% agree.
So those are the times we should be pushing for certain things, certain changes. It should be all the time. In unison. In unison.
See, I'm glad you brought that word up because I guess the last topic is,
Go ahead, man.
As the Kwame turns.
Do what?
As the Kwame turns. It's like a soap opera. No. But this time.
What Kwame do you today, man? What you upset you about?
No, he upset me. He upset me.
You upset your mom?
Nah.
That ain't cool. You upset your mom then. Go ahead.
Pierre, the comedian.
Yeah.
Apparently, of course, Kwame said how he felt about, Russell Westbrook being in the dress. And, of course, he has said things about Dwayne Wade child and things like that. And I guess Pierre responded to him. And one of the things Pierre brought up, which I thought was interesting, And I think both, we could always say both can be true. Pierre said, do you feel the same way about the violence in our community as much as you feel about this man wearing a dress? Because if you think that the dress is the biggest issue in our community, then how do you feel about the violence? How do you comment on the violence? Do you comment on the women being treated a certain way? Do you comment on these things? And I was like, that's a great point.
Right.
And you brought up something about unity. Do you feel as though, and I only use that as an example, it's not about him.
Yeah.
But do you feel as though unity cannot be achieved because we're more worried about tearing down the person instead of pulling them to the side to tell them how we feel? Because
that's the easiest thing to do.
If I feel like for instance, and I'll use, only reason I would say Kwame Brown in this instance because he has access to some that I personally do not have access to right now. Maybe in the future, hopefully, but he could call Russell Westbrook anytime he wants to.
He probably could reach out to him,
or to a person to a person.
Right.
He did that. That's a fraternity, and
right.
They could have got it. I feel like if you should have went to him first to talk to him, just like with Dwayne Wade. You could have. You're Kwame Brown. Despite how I may feel about your career, despite how your career turned out, you're still part of that fraternity.
Right.
You cannot tell me that there's not a person that could have talked to you,
put you in touch with those people.
If you felt strongly before you commented on it. That's why I have the issue with him.
Okay.
But it's not just with him. It's what I have the issue with a lot of these African Americans who feel like they're in this position to lead, but the only thing you're doing is tearing down.
Right.
If you want better for our community, why aren't you having these conversations? I would have had more respect.
Because
go ahead.
Like you said, for instance, you know what he's getting out of that?
Views.
That's what it's always about. It's always about remember, keep in mind that what the new thing is now, it's the hot take.
Yeah.
It's because eventually you want it to lead to something. You want it to lead to something. It's going to lead to something, to his benefit. Like you said, we all have opinions, but some people like others the most, and that drives what they think and what they say.
That's fair.
You think about it. We very in the beginning. Joe Rogan, the whole Joe Rogan thing.
Oh yeah,
he's got millions of followers.
Yeah, David Duke and about to be friends.
Yeah, exactly. On YouTube, Spotify, wherever else he's on. I mean, like I said, I'm sort of a fan of what he speaks about when he's speaking intelligently. When he's but when he's on that other stuff BSing around, you're like, that's a little bit, And the same thing with Kwame. When he speaks a good point, I have a good valid point. Or what's your boy, the light-skinned thug that wants to fight him, that was from New York, the Bronx.
You're talking about Hassan Campbell.
Hassan Campbell. Same thing. Everybody, the crazy thing, everybody has a certain percentage is a good point.
Right.
When they everything outside of that, then this and that, all the above. I'll do this to you. You want to come see me, whatever. No, man, come on, man. We got to do better than that. That's what they expect us to do, and we're doing it. Like I said, we steady tap dance for these people. For the people that want us to, hey, see, anything, you know what? That's the buffoonery we want you to continue to put out there. You know why? Oh, well, shoot. Jamal does it all the time at school. Shoot, he should get on YouTube and do it as well. Matter of fact, you should be a YouTube star as much as
Yeah, that's true. And that's how we get that.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree with you.
And it's like I said, that's the easiest thing we can do is tear each other down and get people speak out. I guarantee you right now, if you were to sit there and do 20 minutes on Kwame Brown, 20 minutes, we could probably do a strong 15. You could probably do strong 15. All right. And I'm not saying that you're going to do that, but you do that on your time.
No.
But like I said, either way, all jokes aside, and you saying you pretty much repeat everything that's been said about him, but you say it in such a vehemently, say vicious. in such a vicious way that people start posting out there. Yo, this dude, my Sean, he just going off on Kwame Brown, and yo, y'all should go check him out. 1,000 more people watch. You see that again. Oh shit, 1,000 people watch.
Start putting the battery in my bed.
Exactly. 1,000 more people. Then you know, your boy Tammy reaches out to you. You know what I'm saying?
Tammy, man.
Your boy Becky with the good hair reaches out to you, as he calls him. You know what I'm saying? True. And then all of a sudden, that's more views because they shouting you out now.
Yeah.
And now Tommy says, "Hey, come on my show, man. Speak. You know, let's chop it up a little bit. You know, even though you might have been mad those times, now they feel you're now you're part of the team.
Okay, that's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then you come back, we back on doing this again. And you know, we got thousands of people watching.
And now I gotta feel obligated to keep that going.
Exactly.
Okay, I agree with that. It's just that's why I think I'm glad about how we do things, because we could sit up here, we could lash out, you know, earlier with Kanye, we could have just I mean, with Kwame,
check us out. We're gonna talk shit about Kwame.
Yeah.
I mean Kanye all day.
Yeah, we
throw in a maybe a little Kwame, you know.
But we try our best to be not just objective, but fair, but we at least try to say there's other sides of looking at things. So I'm glad we have that balance. It's just if I'm Russell, there's nothing Kwame could say to me.
Of course. For when he's gonna look at him like, why are you talking to me?
If I'm Dwayne Wade, you can't even be next to me.
Yeah.
If I'm Shaq, because I'm cool with Dwayne Wade, you don't know me. So all because you couldn't just tap me on my shoulder. And the reason why I say that is because the same things you get mad at that happens to you, you eventually do it to others.
Right. But you know what? At the same time, there's a lot of us, I'd overthink it. I don't want your boy with Dwayne Wade going on there posting, hey, you can't tell me. It's cool. You reached out to me. Not saying you directly. He just mentioned that, but you ain't gonna tell me how I'm not gonna celebrate my child.
Right.
You know, even though he addressed him in private, he puts it out there. So
that's different,
right? Okay.
And the reason why I say it's different, great one, because that happens a lot,
right?
I mean,
right.
And I think that's foul. That's
right.
Foul. You know, Shaq did that the other day with him and Ben Simmons. I think that's foul. Whatever happens in your DM should stay in your DM. That's the reason why it's DM,
right?
Direct message,
right?
That would be foul if he did that. I would respect Kwame more because I would say, and not just Kwame, just anybody, because you took it upon yourself to address that person directly,
right? Because
it's easy to get on here and to address someone.
True.
Because you're not really addressing them, you're just talking.
Right.
And if they hear it, they hear it.
Right.
Like Dwayne Wade's not gonna respond.
Yeah.
We know that. Westbrook ain't gonna respond. We know that. But you have many people thinking that these people are scared of you, when in reality they're looking at you like
you ain't on my level, basically.
Honestly, you ain't on. Obviously, you really ain't on our level because you didn't call me.
Right.
So that lets me know right there that you're not who you say you are, because these people who are in this staff, you could sit up there and it's not just him. I see a lot of other people who do this too, and especially in the Black community, where if we're supposed to be growing and building, because like you said, unity.
Right.
Why are we steadily tearing each other down? We literally will get online and knock each other down. Even like you said, Tommy, sometimes I have to pull back because I'm like, oh, calm down.
Because when I tell you sometimes, hey man, what'd you hear about your boy? What I tell you, man, dude, I check in from time to time, see what he's talking about. And then I keep it moving.
Disconnect.
Like you said, people actually get invested in what you putting out.
And that's what bothers me, because people, regular people,
everyday
people getting invested in this, and I'm like, they might be friends at the end of the day.
And you know, another thing is, it happens. Like you got these people, like your girl Tasha K. Didn't you used to watch a couple times?
Yeah.
we elevate people like that, and they get the position so bold that they put out misinformation, false information, bad information, wrong information. Either way, it's not right. It's not correct.
And yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And that's the thing we do as black people
and
to
that's
each
what
other,
I hate.
to each other. Whether it's to another black woman, another black man, another gay man, another gay woman, trans, whoever. We target each other first because they're the closest one to us.
And that,
you know what I'm getting at?
Yeah,
you think about it.
You're right.
You think about it. First, all right. So, you might target my Sean. You're short. You're an athletic. You're a horrible father. Girls don't like you. You just start.
But one thing is true though. My team whooped somebody butt last night. That's the facts. But go ahead. Matter of fact, it got so bad that my daughter said, I'm gonna have to denounce a certain team.
No, she did not. My daughter did not denounce any team.
If you go in her room right now, there's a little thing that someone bought of a team that's turned backwards now. I'm just saying, yo, that what I didn't do it. I watched a good game last night, and I'm gonna tell you, I should have. I honestly
stay on subject.
Yeah, let's stay on subject.
You know what? Let me put it this way. I'm gonna let you think this. He got that last one, but he still has a losing record in that building.
No. Actually, you absolutely 100% correct. He does.
Keep that in mind.
He does. I will agree.
Dean don't. We own him.
No, that's
Dean
a fact.
Smith was spanking that ass.
But
before he won his first one.
But one thing that did come out, which is true, one man faced 5 coaches. But one thing I did say last night, and I will applaud North Carolina for this. No matter how much, I make fun of Hubert Davis for what he said, because I thought it was funny. I applaud them for hiring him as a black man.
Yeah.
Because they could have easily went to any of their other.
They could have went and got what's my man's name? Pat Sullivan, coach. They could have got anybody. Yeah.
And nobody would have batted an eye because it's still alum.
Right.
So I applaud them for that. And the reason why I say that is because Duke had an opportunity to do the same thing with Johnny Dawkins or even Capel. Because Capel's
experience.
Yes.
And he's been there. He's actually won. He's gotten his team into tournaments. He's got the team with Blake to the Final Four. Was it?
They almost
Elite 8.
Elite 8.
Either way, that's still good enough. Yeah. Good enough for me. Now Nate James, he just.
I was about to say even Nate James, him and Nolan Smith been on the bench for a minute.
They just continue clean basketballs, yo.
So I applaud North Carolina for that, because when I actually sat back and I thought about it, I said that was. He wasn't bold enough to make that move.
I'm gonna hit you with another fun fact.
Go ahead.
What school had the first black player in the ACC?
North Carolina.
Okay then. Booyah. When did Duke have one? After they got rid of the Klan. Ain't no fun facts. Look that up. After they got rid of the Klan. They got rid of the Klan. Y'all got to get off our campus. They get all the good players. Yep. That's around the time. Yeah, so that's around the time they got Brian Hill. I met Brian Hill.
Actually, I think Johnny Dawkins was. I think he was the only black person on his team.
Johnny Dawkins.
I think he was. Honestly, when I look back at it,
but that was around that time frame, the 80s. They had to start. Gotta go.
But I have to applaud because in Black History Month, a school. I mean, not just any school. Like this is a really prominent school. Like when UConn got Kevin Ollie, that was a big move for UConn. Yeah. So I applaud North Carolina for doing that, because I think for me, it should have put the bug in Duke's ear and say, you know what, maybe we should have went to one of our Grant Hill. You want to coach? Go. Grant Hill could have came in. I'm just saying that, when I really thought about it, I applaud North Carolina more for that, because that took a lot of guts.
Yeah.
That did. Because it's still North Carolina either. But if this year he's not gonna get Duke, and that's cool. This is not his team. He inherited this team.
That's right. That's
I'll
all right.
I'll give him a good year. Because next year they're gonna own us because I don't think Shire's gonna work out. I don't think he's that guy. He may.
And why did he get the job again?
Look, I'm gonna tell you like this. I always thought it was Wojo's.
I thought so too. I think Wojo quit. I think what?
I thought it was Wojo or Collins. They were right there. I thought it was Wojo or Collins for the longest, especially Wojo.
That was Coach K Shadow right there.
I was like, Shire? I get it. He won a national championship, but really? And all because they say he recruited Zion. He still didn't bring us a championship. But either way.
Yeah, but he was tired. His tires blew out.
But you
went flat on the court.
Well, you're right. It's more, I guess, when it comes to the big scheme of things right now, it's more about clickbait and just getting views than it is about saying, hey, as men, we at least got to show united front. Because at the time, I guarantee you, and we're about to go ahead and end this, but I guarantee you, if Martin Luther King was alive today, him and Jesse Jackson would not be friends. I don't think they were friends.
I don't. When you're dealing with because so you look at like in like you in the army, like when you got something that brings you together, and it keeps you in a tight fit group, right?
Right.
And I think it's sort of the same thing, because after a while, he's gonna want to do his own thing. Just gonna do his own thing.
Right.
There's certain things they probably didn't see eye to eye in the first place, but they kept the united front. They moved in unison regardless.
And that's the part I think we're missing. It's like we could disagree, but let's keep it behind closed doors and show united front, because I don't even whatchamacallit that just passed away, John Lewis. I don't think he was their friends either. Bernie Sanders, I think that he was just the Jewish guy that they let hang around and use his money.
Hey,
I'm not trying to be funny.
It is what it is, though.
But I just think I don't think that when we see them pictures, I think we get caught up with the brotherhood, and I realized it was a brotherhood, but they probably not was
brothers fight. Though. Yeah, brothers fight, and brothers. When it comes time to defend the family, we move as a family.
Yeah.
When it comes time, what? Our sister? Oh no, partner, you got to fight all of us.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, I agree. I think at a certain point they would have gone their separate ways, regardless of, because like I told you, he had an agenda that, like I said, he was stuck to as much as he could to that agenda that he had. Voting rights was just the tip of the iceberg.
True, you're right.
Tip of the iceberg. For those people, you know what? That is the whole iceberg. Let's move on to the next iceberg. Just do something else. We done conquer the part that's over the water, but we ain't trying to go what's down, dig deep. Right. What's underneath. No, we just gonna stick with this, conquer this, and we're gonna move on to the next one. And we're gonna move different direction with this thing. And that's what happened. So I mean, like I said, within that time, people learn how to work it to their benefit.
Good point. All right, well, that's it for tonight. Anything you want to add?
No, man. And then subscribe, share, reach out, put in on your input. That's it. Check out our platforms. We should be working on some other ones very, very soon.
Yes.
So, about you, sir?
Hey, I just echo the same thing. Please, please, please share, subscribe, love us, like us, but don't hate us. But add your opinion to us. And if you want to come on the show, you want to add a topic, you feel like there's things you want us to talk about, or you want to, I won't say debate, but you just want to have a conversation about, please feel free. All are welcome. I always remember this. No matter what we talk about, it doesn't necessarily mean it's our personal views, but we have to bring it up because it's somebody's views. And as long as we try to hit everybody's views, I think we can see the picture better. Okay. We're out. Stay safe.